truce talks between federal officials and the Republic of Slovenia broke down again today, and the president of Yugoslavia's largest republic is warning his people to be prepared for war.
In the federal capital, Belgrade, Slobodan Milosevic, leader of the Serbs, the nation's dominant ethnic group, said he no longer opposes the breakup of Yugoslavia into independent states, but the Serbs, backed by the army, said Milosevic, will fight to keep control of Serbian enclaves within the breakaway republics like Croatia. The tension between Croatians and minority Serbs has become intense, with daily claims and counterclaims of murders. The federal government offered up a compromise. Slovenia could run the borders on behalf of the Yugoslav government, but give up the money made from customs fees. No thanks, said the Slovenians today.
In the Croatian capital of Zagreb, where independence was also proclaimed last week, a crowd of civilians tried to block a Yugoslav army tank unit from going north to Slovenia. At least 3 people were killed when troops opened fire on the crowd. A few miles away, special forces of the Slovenian territorial militia prepared to face the tanks. Their commander briefed them with the instructions, if you see a tank, you can shoot it. Do you expect to be in a battle?
In the fighting?
Yeah.
I hope. I wager.
Who's winning?
We. Always. Because this is our country, you know.
An officer said, I hope my son will be free, and we will be free. The Yugoslav Air Force dropped bombs and rockets and cannon at Slovenian militia targets throughout the day.
Sois prêt.
Sarajevo is now being fought street by street and house by house. This is Ilija, a suburb close to the airport in the west of the city. Ilija has always been a Serbian stronghold, but now these fighters, a mixture of local Serb militia and regular army soldiers, find themselves in the path of the Muslim counter-offensive. In the middle of the murderous firefight, Ilija's civilian population can only watch as their homes are destroyed. And wonder why neighbour has turned on neighbour after years of peaceful coexistence.
The name of this place is Grbavica.
Le nom de cet endroit, c'est Grbavica.
It's the ghetto.
En ce moment, c'est un ghetto, comme à Varsovie pendant la Seconde Guerre mondiale. Les gens qui vivent là, ils n'ont pas de nourriture, pas de médicaments, pas d'électricité, pas de rien. Rien que la misère. Et les ennemis, les animaux, qui viennent dans les appartements, violer et tuer. Je suis né là.
The Serbs were still holding out in a desperate struggle for every inch of territory and every building. By night, the warring tribes of Bosnia continued their lethal struggle for what's left of Sarajevo. But morning would once again see the United Nations in the firing line.
It looks as if the Dutch Transport Battalion will not be distributing any aid for some time, but the Sergeant Major insists his men want to stay.
They go into the villages and spread out the food, and they nearly all say, well, it is good what we are doing here. The people really are starving.
But so far from home, so close to the war, the Dutch are finding their service in Bosnia an exercise in frustration. Theirs is a spectator's role as the two sides fight it out.
Then Mladic assures the refugees they will be taken to safety. And in fact, the women and children were bussed across the front line and dumped in safe territory. The men, thousands of them, were bussed to neighboring Serb villages.
It soon became clear that the Serbs had slaughtered thousands of Bosnian men and buried them in mass graves.
Former Bosnian Serb leader Radovan Karadzic has taken the stand in his war crimes trial, defending the Serb cause during the Bosnian War as just and holy.
The number of warring factions there are too many for any international agency to take that situation on board. And I think that the Yugoslavs will simply have to be allowed to stew in their own murderous juices for a good many years, or at least for a good many months, until the desire to kill fades away as hunger and deprivation and despair take their toll.
My family, she says. Why didn't they kill me, she is asking. Why didn't they kill me? The UN, he says, they did absolutely nothing to protect us.
Warrant Officer Wim Dijkema belonged to that Dutch battalion, which was sent to Srebrenica to stop an attack on the town.
We came there with a will to do as much as we could do, but we failed.
I don't want war.
Je veux pas la guerre.
I hate all this world.
Je hais ce monde.
Why people shoot?
Pourquoi est-ce que les gens tirent?
To us.
Qu'ils aillent se faire foutre.
For a border.
Pour des frontières, pour des nationalités.
Never time in my life.
Jamais dans ma vie, personne ne m'avait parlé de nationalité. Parce que je le répète tout le temps, le problème, il n'est pas entre les gens. Il n'y a pas de problème entre les musulmans et les Serbes. Il n'y a pas de problème entre les Serbes et les Croates. Parce qu'ils sont tous bosniaques. Le problème, il est chez les hommes politiques. Les hommes qui veulent le pouvoir. C'est ça le problème.
It was just over 90 minutes beyond President Bush's deadline for Saddam Hussein to leave Iraq that U.S. warships and planes, there were F-117 stealth bombers involved,
launched the opening salvo of Operation Iraqi Freedom.
In a sweeping address to the nation, Barack Obama has defended his decision-making on Libya, arguing the United States could not stand
Tonight,
by.
new threats from Vladimir Putin, surrounded by his generals, demanding that NATO withdraw its troops from Eastern Europe. He says in case Western colleagues continue their clearly aggressive line, we will take adequate military and technical measures.
Taiwan is readying aircraft for National Day on Sunday. And more alarmingly, potentially for combat. They're scrambling fighter jets because in the last 5 days, China has flown 150 warplanes into Taiwan's air defense zone.